guys, welcome back to Amanda's Favorites, where I have new videos every week, usually on Tuesdays at noon, unless it's a special launch video. Today's video is one of my personal ones. It is my Q4 planning update. I'm going to tell you what I'm planning in right now, how I'm using it, what I've switched from, and why it's working for me, why I needed to make a switch. So I have made a couple of huge switches from my last planning update. I will link down below my most recent planning update. I can't remember. I think I probably did that at the end of Q2. I don't think I have a Q3 planning update, but that will be linked down below, as well as my planning updates playlist from this year. So if you're new here and you want to check out like what did I start with my stack at the beginning of this year, you know, there's only a couple of videos every year per my planning update, and those are divided into playlists by year. So that will all be linked down below. If you're new here, welcome. I not only share my own personal planning, but I share a lot of planner reviews. All of those are divided into different playlists, so hopefully you can find them easily. I share an extra monthly personal video or Zoom call with my patrons. If you are interested in checking that out, that link is always down in the description. Sometimes they also get launch videos early or peeks of things early, as long as I can do that with a company. That is all linked down there. Let's jump right into my personal planning. It has changed a lot, like I said, from my last video. I would say the one constant has been my Ashley Shelly, which I use as basically like a monthly wall calendar, but I love having it in this little 5x8 notebook planner that sits up on an acrylic easel on my desk. This acrylic easel is no longer available from Erin Condren. I got it years ago, but I'm sure you can find a similar acrylic easel at a craft store or on Amazon. I love to be able to see my monthly and not have to flip to it in my planner. Hence why I say this is like my wall calendar. When I switched to this years ago, this replaced my wall calendar. I use, let's see if I can reach it, an erasable friction pen in here because simply things change so much monthly. I also use an erasable friction highlighters in here, so I try to only use those in here so I can erase them, because things in here can get crazy just because, you know, little monthly boxes. I think next year, for the first time ever, I'm going to try the Ashley Shelly 6x9 monthly calendar. I have a full review on these little notebook monthly planners from Ashley Shelly. There's just one page in between with lines. I have my full review, and I will link that down here in the description. I have an affiliate link for Ashley Shelly. I do not have a discount code. This is my collab planner with her, where I get to choose my cover design and I get to choose the colors for every month. My collab for 2024 is already sold out in both sizes, you guys. Thank you so much for everyone who bought that, and I hope that you use it and love it. I never want you to purchase that like just to support me, although that is so kind. I actually just want you to purchase it if you really want to use it. Lots of people use these little planners for meal planning for the month. They use these little planners for like tracking habits or weight loss or health habits. These monthly planners come in so handy. Right now, my son is in one just to track when to change his Invisalign tray. So I think it's always good to have an extra one of these around, because I promise you're going to find a use for it. At some point during the year, you're going to wish you had one. Ashley Shelly does have her designs in the monthly planner, though, still available on her site. So just her monthly colors are different from mine, and her covers, go check those out. She does sell these plastic covers. Also, all those details are in my Ashley Shelly review video. I review her colors also in her monthly planner for 2024, and that is going to be linked down in the description. So this is my monthly guide. I always like to see my monthly. I know you guys are going to ask about this crochet clip too. She also makes rainbows and other really cute things. The last time I checked, her shop was on a hold, so I'm not sure if she's going to restart. She is like a homeschooling mama, and she just, you know, does her shop when she has time, and then sometimes she shuts it down for certain periods. I will link her shop down in the description so you can check her out and see when next her shop is opening if you want to grab one. I do have some really cute rainbows from her too. My monthly is just, I love to see it up there. I know lots of people are fine with flipping in their planner, but I have to see my monthly. So this has stayed the same. It is still a staple in my planning. Let's go before, this one is going to take the longest. Why I switched my weekly planner right now on MOMAGENDA. So let's put that off. You guys know that usually for my daily list, so I usually do use a notebook for my daily list. I've in the past loved Becky Higgins simple notebooks. I will link my 2 favorite notebook videos down below if you want to see all my favorite notebooks and hear details on this one. And I will put a link to the Becky Higgins shop for her little simple notebooks. These make great daily list notebooks. So many people have said they've tried these since I've shared them, and I've not heard from anyone that doesn't love it. It also makes a great grocery store notebook, on-the-go notebook. I just love the size of these. I love everything about them. So a lot of times I use that for my daily list, but for the past probably at least 6 months, at least, if not more, I've been using my Planner Perfect for my daily list, where I get 2 pages per day, and I love having her seasonal washi in here, her seasonal stickers in here. It makes my daily list so happy to see that in here. Now it's already making me, just looking in here, guys, wow, even I can be so highly influenced, because just looking back in here, I'm like, oh wow, should I change back into my Planner Perfect for my daily list? I do love to see what washi I put on each day, and the seasonal stickers and the seasonal washi, really, they do make me happy. And having like a fresh book every month. But these also make, you don't have to buy her plan books, which has the weekly and the monthly in there, as well as pages for your daily. You can just purchase her plain notebooks for journals. You can purchase her sub box, which is her new artwork every month that you get surprised with. I can't wait because my November box is already on the way. Check out plannerperfect.com if you want to see. They have a chart on the subscription page of when you have to purchase by, but I believe you have to purchase on the 10th of the month before to receive that next month's sub box. But they have a whole chart on her site for that. And I have a 20% off code to Planner Perfect, where you can load up your cart with as much as you want, but it's a one-time use only. 20% off, it's Amanda20. I do have a Planner Perfect chock full playlist all about how I have used her plan books and journals in the past, and all about her leathers. I have a Planner Perfect 101 video you can start with if you're brand new to Planner Perfect and you're saying, Amanda, what are you talking about? So I will link that Planner Perfect playlist down below. You guys know of my love for Planner Perfect, for her artwork, for the feel of her books, for the feel of her paper, for her seasonal washi tape and seasonal stickers, and the seasonal feel of her books. I'm such a sucker for seasonal things. In the past, I just happened to grab this one out of my bin. I have used, this is a wide. I've used a wide and an A5. This is an A5. They're both the same height, these 2 sizes, but an A5 is obviously wider. And now I'm wondering if I should go back to a wide, because I have a lot more of her leathers in that size. And a wide is such a nice portable size in hand. A5 just gives you, more page room. If you go with a subscription box, you can customize your box too. With if you want dot grid pages, plain pages, what size of books you want. You can pick even a different size for planner and journal if you're doing a box with both of those in there. She has lots of subscription box options. She has a subscription box option, which is just the washi tape, stickers, and tipping cards if you just want the decorations each month and you don't want the plan book or the journal. Check all that out in my Planner 101 video or any of my Planner Perfect videos. But here's one at Christmas time that I used more for journaling and memory keeping. And I love looking back on this, where I put Mary Bright page by day calendar where you rip them off. I cut those out and put those in here and used other stickers. And I do love looking back on this, where I wrote temperatures and what the weather was like that day and what was going on, and memories. December is such a good month to keep memories with, and like a journal like this, and you would have it tucked away. It's, it says the month and the year, and it just holds all your memories for that month in one single place. I always put the washi that comes in the box that month back there so I can remember what actually came. So you guys can tell, I love Planner Perfect, especially for the fall and holiday season. So now I'm like, how could I have changed out of this for my daily list right now? But I have been. It was soon right before my son was coming home from his mission, and everything in life got really crazy feeling. I think this was the day I switched. Yep. So it looks like I've been in here about a month now. I switched Thursday, September 7th, and then I think I was in and out because I was in and out. There's some blank pages because I also went back and used Planner Perfect for some of these days. But you can see what my lists look like. I truly use this for get in there for my daily planning. The only dated daily planner that I've ever used consistently for any amount of time when I'm not in a notebook for my daily list is Simplified. I just love their simple page layout. I love the division of the page. I love how there's nothing else on the page. I love the big notes section. And I love their new 80-pound paper. I think it was last year when they switched from 70-pound to 80-pound. And it is a pretty smooth paper, but not slick at all. But it takes all pen really well, and it just feels luxurious to write on. If you haven't tried them since they had the 70-pound paper, you will definitely notice the difference. And right now, during this super busy time, I guess just jumping into a book that is just like, give me a page per day, and that is it, is what I needed. Now, a lot of times on weekend days, because they're split vertically on the page, I still have to go into a notebook, because sometimes I would need more room. Sometimes I don't use the time slots at all. I just go over here and I put my top 3, and then I make my running list for the day. You can see I've divided it all different ways. So I don't always use her time section for time slots. Here's my top 3 and my list for the day. But it's just been working for me to have this book where everything's predated. I can just go ahead if I think of something for a day and write it on there. I love to mark things off with a big black marker. I actually use the Erin Condren. I can't reach it, but I can reach a different color. I use the Erin Condren dual tip marker in black. I love it because it's thick. It crosses out the thing so I can't see it anymore, but it does not bleed through my page. So I love those markers for this. If you are looking for any company, I have so many planner discount codes and affiliate links if you would like to support my channel down below in the description. So like Erin Condren, I have a first time $10 off code plus affiliate link. Simplified, I have a $15 off your first purchase link down there along with my affiliate link. Laurel Denise, I have a 10% off one-time use code. Amandasfavorites, that's down there. So all my codes are down there in the description along with my affiliate links. When you click through and use my affiliate links, you are supporting my channel without having to do anything. It just takes you to their website, but that special link labeled affiliate link shows them how many people I bring to them. They can monitor those clicks from that link. And then also if you purchase after clicking through that link, then I make a small percentage of the sale. And that truly helps me to be able to keep this channel going and me to be able to keep making these videos. So if you enjoy my channel, that is one way that you can support me without doing anything else or spending any extra money. And it means so much to me and the well-being of my channel. So thank you so much. I'm going to be really honest. I don't see myself staying in here like for a whole year. I haven't stayed in anything for my daily list for a whole year for a long time. I've switched between BECKY HIGGINS, Planner Perfect, and Simplified right now. We'll see what I end up doing. But I do love Planner Perfect as a daily planner. I have my top 5 daily planner video for this year out right here at the top of my channel. All my top 5 videos are linked down below too. If you're new here, that is a great place to start. My top 5 videos. I will be doing my top 5 for 2024 coming up in November. So I'm excited to film that for you guys. So right now, that is what I'm in for my daily. Although just flipping through Planner Perfect, I am definitely feeling a pull to those books for memory keeping at least, or using in some way for the fall winter season because they are just beautiful books and really bring me joy. Let's take a look at what I'm using for my content planning right now. I am using Laurel Denise for my content planning. I used to use, and I have this, I should have brought it here, I didn't, in my older, usually I put everything in my stack video at the beginning of the year. That's where you get to see everything, my journals, my everything. So I have shared in that video, I know, how I did my content planning. I would have my YouTube schedule on just a printed calendar on a clipboard where I can flip really easily. And I actually still like that for my master schedule because I love to be able to flip through all the months as I plan way ahead because I book videos way ahead. As far as just looking at the week and month, and then I had a separate weekly view for my weekly Instagram content that I had in a golden coil. And I used that for years. And I loved it. And I love golden coil. But this is working so well for me right now because it sits up on a planner stand. It's an Erin Condren one that they don't sell anymore. I know they sell lots of stands though for cookbooks and stuff that people use for planners on Amazon though. But this sits on a planner stand on my desk where my YouTube clipboard used to sit. And I love to be able to see the week. This week is really sparse because it's the week Pierce came home from his mission. And this week is pretty sparse too because it's the week after he came home. So I'm definitely taking a lighter load right now. But I love being able to see like what I have planned for Instagram that week along with like the big monthly schedule, like the video schedule or any other big things. Last month, you can see how on a busy launch month, this looks very different from my slower month right now after Pierce came home. This was my busy launch month. You could see how much is going on the calendar. My videos are on these sticky notes from Laurel Denise. The vertical, this is her vertical sticky note pad. These fit perfectly on here to be able to still see the date, but in her squares, and they have been sticking beautifully, you guys. None of them have come off. I really love having these to use for my videos. I don't have to cut down any other Post-it notes and make them the right size. Once again, I have a Laurel Denise 10% off code for you, but it's only a one-time use. Amanda's Favorites. And Laurel Denise review video, I will link down below of all her planners this year. She makes these really innovative planners if you haven't seen them yet, where you can see your week and your month at the same time and see your monthly list over here at the same time. But I go through all that in the video. My YouTube videos go on sticky notes because sometimes they have to move around. And you can see how my weekly plans, I don't usually plan anything to share on Saturday and Sunday. That's why they're blank. But I like to see this right next to this. It was so helpful for this month of September. I think that was the first month. Yeah, that was the first month I moved into here for that. Because earlier in the year, I used this planner for my weekly planning. I just found the monthly to be a little redundant for me since I really still like to use my Ashley Shelly monthly in front of me. Who knows if I will jump into here for planning again because I really do love a lot about the Laurel Denise. And obviously I started the year in it as my planner and used it for a good chunk of time because I started before this year. I started this actually, I think in September of last year and used it for a good 6 months through March of this year. But all that would have been in my personal planning updates videos. And I did my goal planning in here this year too. And I have a whole video on that about my simple goal planning, project planning intentions that I did in here. Mind map webs, lists, like check-ins, another web for the second quarter, lists. That is my Laurel Denise for my content planner. And I plan to be in a horizontal Laurel Denise for my content planning in 2024. I don't see that changing. Now let's get into the big change of my weekly planner. So I have switched from Erin Condren weekly planner, which I've used for so long, into MOMAGENDA. And let me tell you why. So many times over the years, I have drawn out layouts and vertical planners and tried to come up with the system that I want. But it has not worked in any vertical planner for me until finally I've tried MOMAGENDA before. I even tried it at the beginning of this season where they have 18-month planners. This one started in the beginning of July and I even did some playing in it and tried it then again, as you can see. But nothing just clicked at that time. See, I think it's just different planners click with us for different seasons of our lives, you know? And this is not perfect for me. You know, if I was designing something and it's taken me a couple weeks, I started in here the week of September 18th. So it's taken me a couple of weeks. You can see how each week has looked a little different of tweaks for me to figure out exactly how I wanted to utilize this layout the best for me. And I'm going to go through, don't worry, and explain it to you. This is some pre-planning some weeks ahead. I once again love the Laurel Denise sticky notes for this, you guys. These are still off the vertical pad that fit on here perfectly in 1.5-inch columns. But also Moxie Life, this package of sticky notes, which I took them all out because I have them in a little holder on my desk. But all their different colors. I got the lighter version. I did not have these in my Moxie Life review video, which is up on YouTube right now, because I wanted to test them longer, the stickiness of them. And I only had like 3 days before I had to film that review video from when I received them. But I did share all about these after testing them for a couple weeks on Instagram, and I saved it in a highlight bubble labeled Moxie Life if you want to check that out about all their sticky notes. But spoiler alert, they stick great too, like the Laurel Denise. Are either of these as sticky as Post-it notes, the Laurel Denise or the Moxie Life? No, not to me. They stick well enough for me where they do not fall out of my planner, and they do great for pre-planning things that you're not sure about, or you just want to put down or are possibly going to move around. So I absolutely love these because they also fit in 1.5 inch planner columns. One of my friends on Instagram reminded me, I knew this trick, but I'm never slow enough to remember. If you pull up sticky notes like this instead of doing that, depending on where the sticky is, then you will not get them curling up as much. As you can see, look at that. That one lays flat. This one's curling up because I pulled it this way. So you can tell the Moxie Life sticky is on this side. The Laurel Denise sticky is up top here. So you would, of course, pull hers, you know, where you're sliding to the side instead of straight up so that you don't get that curl up at the bottom. There is a sticky note tip for you guys, but I'm actually going to stick these at the back so I can remember to reuse them in weeks when I just need notes instead of pulling them off. I find myself pulling off lots of notes in videos or on Instagram and then end up wasting a ton, just end up throwing them away. So if I stick them there, I can use them. So right now, this MOMAGENDA is just working really well for me. We're going to go through why, but I also want to show you after this, everything I have tried to draw this out in, and that has just not worked for me because of my personal preferences, really. So there's nothing wrong with any of these planners, of course. It's just right now because of my personal preferences and the way I want this set up, that MOMAGENDA has worked the best for me. Do I wish that I could just design a planner just like everyone does? You know, the perfect planner for you? Yes. And who knows what will happen someday. But right now, this is what I have to work with. I love Planner Perfect washi tape up here. I am so glad. Let me show you a blank page. That MOMAGENDA left a perfect margin up here. So if they bumped the date down and didn't waste that space, it would be even better, actually, because the washi almost covers your date and you have to get it right at the edge of the page. So I do wish they would bump the date down, but the washi tape fits right along here and also fits right here covering up the quote. I do wish that was just blank. You guys know me. I prefer less on my page and to be able to design what I want. I also wish these weren't on the page, the month we're on and the next month, because I just really don't utilize it, and I would rather that be blank to possibly put a seasonal Planner Perfect sticker up there. But this is what we have to work with. I prefer the MOMAGENDA because it's white paper. The My Agenda from MOMAGENDA doesn't have sections labeled like kids. The sections are still there. They're just not labeled kids, but it is very dark cream paper, very dark cream, and then dark charcoal black lines. I prefer the white paper with the light blue lines. I have a whole MOMAGENDA review video because they also make coiled planners and so many different options for you. So check out my MOMAGENDA review video if you're interested in this. I already know like 5 people who have ordered this since I talked about how I use it over on my Patreon page. I do personal updates there that are just a little bit more personal, more often, more chatty. I shared this there and already had like 5 people order it. I'm going to be really interested to hear how it works out for them. I have a 15% off code for MOMAGENDA. You can use it over and over again. It's Amandasfavorites. I will link that down in the description too, along with my MOMAGENDA affiliate link. So you can have all that information. This is a 7x9 planner. So what I have found is my sweet spot, what I need. I want a 7x9 page. I want decent paper. I would love 80-pound paper, but this is decent. This is 70-pound paper, and it works really well. 70-pound paper. And we do pin testing and all that in my MOMAGENDA video. I need a vertical layout. I love the light lines to guide me and fit more on here. I would probably love a tiny bit more line spacing, such as Moxie Life lines are very light and a little bit bigger, and I would actually prefer that. These are a little bit tiny for me. I don't know what the exact line spacing is. Maybe I'll figure it out and put it on the screen. Oh, it's about exactly a 1/2 centimeter. These are 1/2 centimeter. Moxie Life are a tiny bit bigger, which is one of the planners I've tried this in, but I found out I really like a bound book for the way I use it, and I'll tell you why. But Moxie Lifelines are a tiny bit bigger spacing, and that would be my dream spacing. And theirs is like 0.6 centimeters. So it's just the tiny bit bigger, but that tiny bit bigger line just works for my handwriting better. And I do really like light lines because they guide me and they help me be able to fit more on the page. And I'm already a messy planner, and it helps me to fit more on the page and be a little bit more neat. I wish this whole bottom section was just a very light dot grid. That would be optimal for me. But I deal with there being all these lines and I ignore them in all these boxes because that's not how I use it. That's what I've learned is my sweet spot. I love the rounded corners of MOMAGENDA. I love the feel of their book. I love 2 ribbon bookmarks. I don't always want them to be pastel pink, but I like having those there. I have noticed since I leave the MOMAGENDA open on my desk all the time that then it tends to kind of bow out. This cover does, at least. And so just be aware of that. If you're someone who's going to open and shut your book a lot, you'll have to deal with it, the cover bowing out a little bit, and you'll want to get like a planner band to throw it in your bag. But I think it will hold up really well. I actually love the MOMAGENDA pin holder. So a lot of pin holders are not wide enough for like big, wide, grippy pins. This one is. It can hold even this really grippy friction pin in here. Of course, if you don't want to have to struggle with getting the grip of like this one in and out, you can just hook your pin. Well, this pin I've taped down for a reason. A noise it makes. I've talked about that in lots of other videos, but you can just hook your pin and it works so well. So if you're someone who's going to need to carry a pin around with you, I love that MOMAGENDA sells these really wide pin holders. They're super wide. Look at this Pilot G2. Even you can get that in there. And that's a super wide pin. You can get it in and out. And if you don't have a grippy, it'll work even better. I wish this was only a 12-month planner. It's 18 months. So it's more bulky than it needs to be, although it's not overly bulky for a planner. All your monthlies are up front since there's no tabs, but since I don't really use the monthlies for my planning, I might use them for monthly notes. Just if I want to scribble down notes in that month, I've noticed I'm going to go to the month because it's somewhere where I know to refer back to. It's a Monday start on your monthly layout on MOMAGENDA, so be aware of that. But all these details are in my MOMAGENDA review video. I don't utilize the monthlies though. I don't utilize all these kids planning pages up front and family planning pages, so that's a lot of bulk I don't use either. Hence why I said, of course, it's far off from being my perfect planner, but out of all the ones I've tried, it's working the best for what I need. So let's talk about my layout then, before I go on and on about this. I talked about how I played around with this. I love the seasonal pop of color from the Planner Perfect washi tape on each page. Because honestly, I think I would be sad with this planner without that. I miss my color from my Erin Condren. I miss that seasonality. I miss the Erin Condren color and fonts because they are just happy to me. So this helps me happy it up a little bit. What I need is a section just for, this was the week Pierce came home, so it's a little bit different than other weeks. This was the week before he came home, so it's a little bit even crazier than normal weeks. I mean, what week in our life is really normal, right? As you can tell, my first week in here, I didn't have all the lines drawn because I was figuring it out. So let's go to what it's like morphed into, really, to where these weeks ahead that I've drawn that I really feel like it's gonna be like. I need just I put any appointments or anything up top here, and I've decided I don't really need a separate line for that. Like just if it's an appointment or something big, it's going to go up top. And then just things that I think need to happen on that day, go down below it. Of course, this isn't my whole daily list because that goes in my daily planner or my daily notebook. I do like utilizing this section for a top 3 for the week to make sure those 3 things get done. I honestly probably wouldn't mind if that wasn't there. You know, if the days of the week just had more room, but to make it even for the days of the week, you have to have an extra section there. So it works. I utilize that for my top 3. You could utilize that section just for even a mantra or a quote or a scripture or whatever you want. You don't have to use it for your top 3, but that's my top 3. My days flow, I can see the whole week. This is why I want bound and 7x9 size because it fits on my desk perfectly. It's not too big. It's not too small. And I can see my whole week and what is going on. But then I can also see my weekly lists and work off of them the whole week. without flipping the book. And this is the key for me to be able to see what's going on and get stuff done. So I decided these are the important lists I need just to do. Email, call, or text. So that's there. Orders that we need to do. You know, online orders are like constant for us. We even get a lot of food products and stuff from Amazon. So it's just a constant things that come into our head or things we need to look for. And then errands. So any errands I need to go out, which that would never be full, but this just works. These lines right now, I've bumped it down to use the very top of the kids section here, the first box of the kids section. But I've tried it different ways. I've tried it one above that and left this whole section where it's labeled here for your kids, sectioned off for lists. So I've done it both ways. This one was bumped up higher, and then this was my work section. And I tried out bumping off, you know, any timed big things, but I decided right now I don't need that line. Who knows if I'll change it. So depending on how busy I get, I guess I can bump my list up or down. We'll see how this continues to go. It's only been a couple of weeks now. This is the big work task I wanted to get done that day. We're only on this week right now. So this is where we are. I'm on Wednesday of this week. This is my big work task. So I can look besides just my normal life with my kids and my housework and my grocery shopping and meal prep and all that moms do. And this can show me what I need to get done for my channel. And then my divided list. And I just draw a line down here. I love using colored highlighters. And or what I love to use for my lines are either Tombos. These last for years, you guys. I think I've had these almost 5 years, the colors of Tombos I have. And in fact, they were a gift from Molly. I didn't even buy them. They were colors or Tombos she didn't want like 5 years ago. And I was like, sure. And they were my first ever Tombos. And I love them for so many things. Even though it's brush tip, you don't need to have to know how to brush tip. Like that's what is around there. They are just fun to use in planners, but you also have that tip end. You can buy these on Amazon. I know you can buy them at art stores too. And then other lines in here, I just try to go with the color of the season of the washi tape that I've used. This is some of my favorite Planner Perfect washi tape. I use mild liners for that. Generally, this smaller end of the mild liner. I love the mild liner fall colors. They last for years too. I've had the same sets for years. And or I've also been using some of the colors from the Moxie Life set. I really like a lot of their colors here too. Theirs are just designed just like mild liners, but I would say they write thinner because the mild liner tip pushes in a little bit more and makes a thicker line. So it's a softer tip, I would say. The Moxie Life tips are harder. And so they hold their line in thinner, but Moxie markers are made to match the exact colors in Moxie Life of their action items each week and month. But I did share these in my Moxie Life video if you want to check them out. So that is what I have been using for all of these things. Do I like having to go in and set up my weeks? Well, not really, but it doesn't take that much time. I just go a couple of weeks ahead. And it is kind of fun to feel the season and be like, what colors am I going to use and what washi am I going to use? And how is my weekly setup working? Do I want to change that? So this week is the first week I drew in changing the weekly setup a little bit because I decided instead of having where you have this change from blank to lines, I thought, why not try the blank section for my errands, which is generally smaller and I don't need to write out like longer sentences generally. So we'll see how that works there. I may or may not keep it there, but we'll see. If not, that's just blank and wasted generally with like my work line section out. Errands moved to there, which made to-dos be longer so I could write out longer, which is good for me because I often need a lot of details to remember what I'm doing. Email, call, or text, and orders along there. So that's the way I drew this page. And then this page and work, I always have to forget. Sometimes I accidentally draw across to Sunday, but I don't want to have a work slot on Sunday, so I have to remember to not draw across there. And eventually I'd love to not draw a work slot on Saturday too. But this one I forgot and I drew all the way across. That's fine. I have to get it more in my head. So this would be my errands. I just didn't label it. This would be my to-dos. And this would be my email, call, text. And I might start abbreviating that because I know what it means. and then orders here. I do like this setup, but I've only gone a couple weeks ahead with my lines because I might want to change it. I probably shouldn't have gone this far ahead with my lines, but I got really excited. You know how when you're planning and setting up, like that's the funnest part, right? Not actually doing the things. It's the setting up the planner. There is my work there. Also on MOMAGENDA, I do wish the holidays were not the top of the day, because sometimes if there's several holidays, that takes up a lot of room, and that is like my big like errand section or appointment section across there. So I do not like that the holidays are across there, how that is done. I'm just saying things that if I could design it for myself, what I would not put the holidays there. I would like to have the holidays on the day. Honestly, I guess in the MOMAGENDA, the only place would be down here, and I know most people wouldn't like that. So that's me though. If there was more of a margin up here or blank room, definitely the holidays could go above the day, but I'm just working with this. So here I didn't draw all my lines in transitioning to November because I just put the washi tape because I'm trying to, you know, let it work itself out and see what happens here. And December, that's so fun. I wanted to do some kind of change because I love the way Erin Condren changes, you know, when the month ends here, boom, the, you know, changes. You can see a change in month from November to December. And who knows, maybe if I could find the right color highlighters, you know, I might even highlight across the day of the month. So I definitely miss a lot about the Erin Condren, but this layout is just functionally working for me exactly how I have needed it to for years, to be able to see all my lists divided into categories and aesthetically being the closest to what I need right now. I have to have the 7x9 page. I have to have bound. So here we are. That leaves us here. And we will see how long this goes on. But I do love looking at the Planner Perfect tape going into the holidays. This thin holly washi is some of my favorite from, I think, Michael's like years ago. And it fits just perfect at the bottom of the page. One time, I think, though, I wrote weather across the bottom of the page, which worked perfect. And I might do in the winter, too, because our weather changes a lot in the winter. I even stuck a little Planner Perfect washi there, kind of like a sticker, just cut off that little washi. And that's as far as I went. I do love this forest green cover. You can, they did do this for me. They put my name on my cover for me. You can pay extra and you can do that on your cover. I like the feel of the covers from MOMAGENDA. They're hard covers, which also just gives you writing support if you're writing on a couch or a bed or anywhere or on the go. So I do like that. So that is the MOMAGENDA. That is what I'm using for my weekly. Let me just quickly show you what I have tried this layout all in over the years, and I've tried it over and over, and it's just never clicked in anything. And then we will be wrapped up, you guys. I've tried it in the Moxie Life, so recently I just retried it again. I try a lot of things in the Moxie Life. I love the light lines in the Moxie Life. I love the line spacing of the Moxie Life. Love it. Absolutely. And all the page real estate is really used in the Moxie Life. And because there's not as many line sections, you could definitely section off here better. And you have a list here and habits here if you want to utilize that. But I don't really utilize habits because I do my year-long habit tracker. So I think this is, I mean, throughout the year, I've tried Moxie Life a lot of different weeks in a lot of different ways. If you just flip through here, you'll find random, you know, weeks throughout the year. I've tried all different ways, but because I love Moxie Life and it has 80-pound paper and the paper is amazing, but because of the coil, you know, I just can't see all my lists like I can in the bound book. And that's why for a weekly, of course, is a stellar goal planner weekly combination. But because I would always be flipping to see my list, I've learned that just doesn't work for me to have all my lists constantly in front of me. Also, these lines in between being a little bit darker, I would rather those be light. Like these are light, the same color as the lines going across, so that when I'm writing those lists across at the bottom, it doesn't seem as much like I'm writing across a line with them being a light blue. But with these being a darker gray, it felt like, and with this box being more breaking up, also with the darker lines, it just felt when I was writing my list that they were more going across darker lines. And whenever you're having to break your eyes, you know, over those lines, it doesn't work. So I was trying to find if any other week stuck out to me. So that's why, So the Mox Life Vertical is amazing, but that's why it hasn't worked for me. I have tried the Erin Condren, of course, because this is the planner I use. I have tried the Erin Condren Vertical over and over in different ways. Now, if I ordered the canvas design that didn't have the color in it, it might work better for me, but probably not, because they still have the 3 breaks and then the bottom break. And that's just breaking it into a lot of weird sections. It doesn't have the lines for me to work with like the MOMAGENDA. And when you draw extra lines in here to try to be breaks, when you have weird lines in the middle of where you need to write, that just does not work for me. And the lists were not flowing on the bottom like they flow here. I think you can tell from just looking at it that the way I can write my lists across here, and because of the very light blue lines, it doesn't mess me up. That's why I said I would love this to all just be light dot grid across the bottom. Just everything here, light dot grid. I love Erin Condren colors. I love Erin Condren paper. I love their coil. If Erin Condren made a soft bound exactly how I wanted it, their soft bound is big. It's like an 8x10 and it has this same layout. So it just won't work for me. So hence why the Erin Condren won't work. You can see how that breaking up I'm very sad to say I love the Erin Condren colorful tabs. Passion Planner, I have tried, oh my goodness, so many times over the years. I love Passion Planner. I actually used it for a good amount of time at the beginning of my channel. And I've used it on busy weeks in my life so many times in all different ways. But I have tried it for this layout because you have the list. The medium size though is a little bit bigger than the 7x9. Here we go, we'll line it up. They're medium size, tiny bit wider, hardly wider, but you have a little over a 1/2 inch taller there at the top. So it's just a little big for my desk space. If the page real estate's used good, I really don't need bigger than a 7x9, and it is the perfect size to have on your desk or carry around. I do kind of really love having the hardcover too. Passion Planner has great 80-pound paper. I love it. You already have this room. I can work with blank, instead of dot grid. I can totally work with that. I would draw a box here a lot thick to be like my big things for the day or my appointments to stand out, then just list the rest of the day. That totally worked. I didn't get the concept of drawing yet a box for just my work tasks. I don't prefer all these little lines. I don't like all the tiny checklist boxes. These lines are a little bit small for me. These lines are too small for me, so I never end up writing exactly on them. This is boxes that I have to fill in. I love the good things that happen that week, but it's like it doesn't leave it open to me. I would rather this be all dot grid, open to me once again. The same that I would say here. Dot grid or blank, open to me to do whatever I want there. So I do love their paper, and I do love a lot about their layout. Like I said, I do wish I had a hardcover just when you're writing near the beginning of the book. A hardcover would come into play nicely. Sometimes I would highlight every other line here because it was just the lines were so close. My top 3 for the week could go down here. These were just experiments. And then we come to, I tried some other weeks in here. That was another one. This is really good for time blocking. If you need to time block your whole week and you need to see your weekly list, Passion Planner is amazing. From 6 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. I do have a discount code for your first Passion Planner order. I think it's $5 off. That's down there. No affiliate link for Passion Planner though, but I do have that first order discount code for you. So if you have to time block things, there is nothing better than Passion Planner. I love not having the coil. They have 3 sizes. This is the medium one. And I will post I have a whole playlist for Passion Planner. The review video will be down there in the description. Here are just different ways I've tried it. So here's what I don't love about the Passion Planner page. You can already guess. The harsh, dark black. The quotes and everything taking up so much room. I don't need boxes, harsh, dark black. Even the Today's Focus, breaking it up. Because yes, it's a great box. You could put the weather in or whatever, or focus. Writing Today's Focus in it though kind of ruins the box for me. And I just don't need that extra box up there. I don't, of course, need the times because I'm not using it for time blocking. It would work better for me if this was just another blank, or if this was all dot grid, even better, and take away the harsh black lines and just all dot grid. And if that were the case, I might actually work with this instead of MOMAGENDA. Although I don't love the kind of grayscale page. Passion Planner has kind of this grayscale to the page, you know, and there's a lot of gray and black. And I prefer lighter and brighter. But they do utilize all their page real estate a little bit better where space is wasted up here. Although I do like room to put seasonal washi. So I don't know. You guys can tell from all this that I've landed on exactly what I want, but it's in no planner and I have to make my own. But Passion Planner is probably the next closest one. I have done bullet journal, of course, and a Leuchtturm. I love Leuchtturms, but Leuchtturms, I've done so many weeks like this and tried them out. You have to draw out your entire week, you guys. You have to measure everything, and it's a way, way, way smaller page. I mean, look at that in an A5 Leuchtturm. Yes, you could find a bigger bound notebook that you like. This is the Leuchtturm with the extra thicker paper, and it's just a blank one, but I have dot grid Leuchtturms. So all my lists can be divided up different down here. It does give you a lot of flexibility, but I have to stack Saturday and Sunday because it's just a lot smaller page. It's just a lot less room in general. If my life was less busy, I mean, someday I can see using a bullet journal. I've used this for a lot of different layouts and things and just daily lists. I love Leuchtturm. They're in my notebooks videos favorites, which I will link down there. So, of course, I have bullet journaled it. Other things I have tried, I think these are the last two, you guys. Hemlock and Oak. It is a really great layout. If you need a time block, once again, I love a light grid. If there's a grid, I do not like it dark. I do prefer lines. It's just less busy on my eyes. I prefer light lines, but this light grid is okay. But then you have the times every day, which makes it busier if you're not using the times. 6 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. half-hour lines. I like that there's already a blank section at the bottom, but my blank section would be bigger. This is smaller, although I've heard their planner this year is bigger, and I think they're sending it to me to review, so the columns might be bigger this year and be 1.5 inch. These columns are a little small for me because they are like 1.25 inches. And then you have labels here for there, which doesn't leave it open. There's just not enough room on the page for me. That's a little bit small for me of someone who has to use reading glasses, but I do love the clean aesthetic of the page and the amazing, amazing 80-pound paper. I have a discount code for Hemlock and Oak. I think it is a 10% off. I think it is Amanda's Favorites, and I have an affiliate link. I have a review video. All that will be linked down in the description. So I have tried that too. Commit 30 is really close to Passion Planner in size. They might be the exact same size, so it's a little bit bigger than MOMAGENDA. I have a Passion Planner, I have a Commit 30 review video, but no discount code and no affiliate link. With already the breaking up of the sections, it makes it a little bit harder. If this page ended right here and didn't have these 3 boxes, I love so much about Commit 30. It's just, if I'm not gonna have a happy color changing monthly, if I don't get to have that, then I would rather it be really clean and open to me adding my own color. And it would just be harder to jazz up the khaki, in my opinion. I love her covers. It's not a hard cover though, but I do love her cover designs. I don't have a discount code or affiliate link for Commit 30, but I do have a review video. Wow, that was a lot. If you're with me, then you're like a diehard friend of mine, and I'm sending a big hug to you. Thanks for being here, guys. I would love to hear all your thoughts. I am so interested in what is your ideal planner design. Like, what planner are you using right now? And what would you change about that planner? Like, tweak it. I've shown what I would tweak about MOMAGENDA to make it my ideal planner. I'd love to hear that, because I know probably every planner you're using right now, I bet everyone has something in it that they would change about it, because that's just how we are as planners, right? I think it is very rare to find a planner where you're like, every single thing is as you would pick it. There you go, guys. You know, I love so much about other planner brands, but we have to use what functionally, you know, works the best for us, and then make ourselves feel comfortable and happy in it. So leave all those thoughts and comments down below. I think this is going to be a really interesting discussion down there. Everybody chime in. Thanks for being here. Have a wonderful week. Take care of yourself so you can take care of others, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.